When you see the term bullet heaven, a question undoubtedly pops into your mind. What's the difference between bullet heaven and bullet hell? In fact, since Vampire Survivors became a sensation 3 years ago, the label bullet heaven has been used by some players to refer to games similar to Vampire Survivors. In these games, players take the central position originally occupied by the boss in bullet hell, while monsters need to dodge your bullets. Although we all know monsters aren't intelligent enough to actively dodge your attacks, this design, which is somewhat inverse to bullet hell, has gradually made the term bullet heaven more recognized by players, leading to the emergence of the Bullet Heaven Festival. Today, I'll chat with you about the 8 games I'm most looking forward to in this Bullet Heaven Festival. Without further ado, let's dive in. The first game, Brotato. Brotato is arguably one of the star games of this festival, primarily because it inherits the core gameplay of Vampire Survivors while introducing several targeted improvements, making its gameplay unique. By dividing the game into 20 incrementally longer levels, Brotato not only gives players time to catch their breath and adjust but also makes building their combat effectiveness more controllable. After each level, players can choose one out of 4 options to upgrade their attributes, and weapons and equipment must be purchased in shops. This design makes gold an important resource and balances the pressure of acquiring and upgrading weapons. The game also weakens overpowered attributes from Vampire Survivors, ensuring all weapons and equipment have their uses. Knockback and 360-degree attacks are no longer guaranteed wins, each type of weapon has its unique value. Additionally, the game encourages players to dodge enemies flexibly, with survival itself being a victory, making a balanced approach to attack and defense crucial for success. Brotato's economic system is also unique. Picking up crystals grants both money and experience, while the harvest attribute acts like a regular savings plan, effectively alleviating economic pressure and giving players more opportunities to enhance their abilities. Furthermore, since there's no limit to the number of items in shops, extreme builds become possible, coupled with imaginative hero designs, leading to a myriad of strange and wonderful gameplay experiences. Overall, Brotato introduces many innovations in gameplay mechanics, addressing some of the early issues of Vampire Survivors. The recently released DLC also offers a cooperative multiplayer mode, making it even better than its predecessor. In other words, it's one of the games I think is most worth buying at this festival. The second game, Nova Drift. This is a minimalist space combat game with diverse ship components and roguelike randomness as its core, allowing players to unlock and assemble unique spacecraft during gameplay. Despite their simple shapes, the spaceships offer a rich variety of colors and appearances, making them simple yet not crude. You can freely choose to upgrade parts and modules, easily creating a cohesive system. For example, motherships can carry multiple small constructs to assist in combat, while shields, as the primary means of protection for spaceships, come in various types with different focuses, significantly aiding in battles. In combat, the combination of weapons and modules makes the game enjoyable, with each, like railguns and grenades, having its unique characteristics. Upgrading modules further enhances the fun of combinations, such as grenades with increased splitting and explosion range, delivering astonishing results in combat. Moreover, you can switch out unsuitable parts and modules during gameplay, directly impacting the spaceship's capabilities in various dimensions and diversifying combat strategies. The game also includes more content and new modes, with diverse enemy spaceships and challenging boss spaceships. Asteroids and black holes in space add excitement to the game, and the dynamic music makes fighting in space incredibly engaging and satisfying. It's a game of good quality and great for stress relief. The third game, Darkchaser Battletide. Darkchaser Battletide is a survivor-like game that emphasizes strategy building. While retaining the minimalist style and light roguelike elements of Vampire Survivors, it innovates boldly in its level mechanics by dividing larger levels into smaller ones and reducing the map size, significantly enhancing the importance of strategy. At the end of each level, players enter a shop to buy relics and skills, with limited resource acquisition requiring careful consideration to maximize resource utilization. The game's innovation lies in its character talent tree system, which breaks the traditional character-building framework of survivor-like games. Each character has multiple build paths that players can freely explore, greatly increasing playability and fun. Take Flame Knight as an example. Its talent tree offers 3 build directions: fireworks, explosion, and burn, requiring players to make strategic choices and trade-offs, resulting in unique gameplay experiences. The merchant's talent tree can change shop rules, such as providing free shop refreshes or locking specific rarity items, making the shop their true battlefield. With the official release, you can also experience new game modes in Darkchaser Battle Tide, with skill enhancements and random talents offering even more diverse build systems. It's worth mentioning that the developers are offering a 25% launch discount during this festival and have announced a potential price increase after future updates. Now is an excellent time to buy. The fourth game, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. This is a single-player survivor-like game developed by the Deep Rock Galactic team. In terms of setting, you once again play as a dwarf, traversing alien caves, fighting various alien creatures, collecting weapons and equipment, and enhancing your combat effectiveness. The game combines mission-driven design with the mining elements and random maps from the previous game. You can mine to clear paths, use ore as defenses or resources, and the randomly generated caves and enemy waves make each playthrough unique and fun. However, as a single-player roguelike game, while Deep Rock Galactic Survivor inherits the original game's features and introduces innovative gameplay, there's still room for improvement in content richness and game mechanics. The early access stage includes limited game modes and maps, and the game experience declines somewhat without the cooperative mode from the original. In summary, for fans of the original Deep Rock Galactic, this game is worth trying. I hope the full release introduces more content, such as multiplayer, save and load functionality, and more random events, to reach the same heights as the original. The fifth game, Greedland. I was drawn to Greedland at last year's Steam Next Fest, with its cover design and game atmosphere homage to Crimson Land. It successfully brought back memories of my childhood classic. As you can see, in the game, you play as an interstellar mercenary, collecting resources, enhancing yourself, and annihilating endless swarms of insects in relentless combat, ultimately conquering the planet. Compared to other games, Greedland stands out by shattering players' stereotypes of low-cost graphics in survivor-like games, using the Unreal Engine to create highly realistic effects. The dense insect swarms, outward-pouring bullets, and lasers all stimulate the visual nerves, making adrenaline soar. Who can resist this classic game theme? Of course, Greedland isn't just about graphics, it also innovates boldly in out-of-game enhancements and modifications. The weapon arsenal includes dozens of primary and secondary weapons, as well as numerous unique skills, offering endless possibilities for combat. During the slaughter, you can unlock more powerful weapons and skills, exploring unique and powerful combat combinations. According to the official roadmap, the game will introduce new game modes and support 4-player cooperative mode in the future. Buying now is definitely a good deal. The sixth game, 20 Minutes Till Dawn. This is a survivor-like game created by the Flan Studio, where, as the name suggests, you need to eliminate enemies, collect experience, acquire skills, and challenge the 20-minute survival limit on a flat map. The game combines elements of Nova Drift, requiring you to manage both movement and shooting while choosing characters, weapons, and random skills to create unique gameplay styles. As you progress, you'll unlock more characters and weapons, each combination offering a new gameplay experience. It's worth noting that while different guns and corresponding styles provide diverse shooting experiences, the game is more challenging in the early stages without skill support, testing your shooting and dodging skills, which can be somewhat difficult. To make the game more accessible, there's an out-of-game progression system where you can spend currency to boost your overall strength. However, if you delve deeper, you'll find that the game's content is somewhat lacking in variety, with limited gameplay styles and enemy types, and weapon balance needing adjustment. Nevertheless, 20 Minutes Till Dawn is still a distinctive and worthwhile survivor-like game. The seventh game, Death Must Die. Death Must Die is a game that blends the build system of Hades, the survivor-like control mode, and loot-based gameplay. In short, you could call it a Diablo-like among survivor-like games. In the game, you play as a hero venturing deep into the underworld to seek out the god of death himself, crafting your powerful build from hundreds of blessings to slay his endless minions. The game features a distinctive art style. Even with its 2D retro graphics, you can feel the developer's dedication through the intricate illustrations. In terms of gameplay, Death Must Die primarily offers a farming-focused experience. Each character can equip multiple pieces of armor and accessories, almost all of which come with random suffixes, providing immense room for late-game equipment customization. The joy of equipment customization needs no further elaboration. Since the game transforms the common external progression system into an equipment system, some players find the game challenging, especially in the early stages, where repeated deaths are necessary to farm a usable set of initial equipment. However, conversely, because players retain all their gold, equipment, and talent growth upon death, once you reach the mid to late game, you can even start with divine gear and easily sweep through the underworld. In summary, if you enjoy the loot-based gameplay of Diablo, then Death Must Die will not disappoint you. Lastly, Spellbook Demon's Layers. At first glance, Spellbook Demon's Layers closely resembles Vampire Survivors. Upon actually playing it, you'll discover numerous innovative details. For instance, certain skills allow manual direction selection with 3 different release options, turning them into true active skills. Additionally, the level cap can be increased outside of runs, super weapons are obtained through direct upgrades rather than combining with passives, and you can acquire unlimited passives. These subtle adjustments to familiar mechanics are excellent demonstrations of the game's innovation. Of course, the game's biggest breakthrough is arguably the addition of the Shrine system, or buff system. Players staying within the gradually shrinking aura of the shrine can earn treasure chests, experience, and gains such as health restoration, life steal, and critical hits by killing a certain number of monsters. Since the system often restricts player movement, even with numerous monsters, there's still a time lag for clearing them, requiring stronger clearing abilities or instant survival skills. Spellbook Demon's Layers also introduces a sprint button, a staple in action games, but personally, I find its effectiveness lacking. The reason is simple: the synergy between sprinting and other skills is limited, making its use less apparent. That concludes our game recommendations for the Bullet Heaven Festival. Which game interests you the most? It's undeniable that survivor-like games have become the preferred genre for indie developers to make a name for themselves, but truly creative and innovative works are still rare. Since the release of Brotato, there haven't been any new titles that can stand shoulder to shoulder with it. I hope the next festival brings us more surprising new works.